The mainstream media's portrayal of Christians has been a subject of controversy for years, with many believers feeling misrepresented and marginalized. It is not uncommon to see Christians depicted as intolerant, bigoted, and out of touch with modern society. However, this portrayal is often far from the truth, and it raises the question, why does the mainstream media lie about Christians? One reason for this misrepresentation is the media's liberal bias. Many media outlets have a clear liberal agenda, and as a result, they often view Christianity as a threat to their values and worldview. Christians are seen as being at odds with the progressive ideology that dominates the media, and therefore, they are portrayed in a negative light. This bias is not just limited to news outlets, but also extends to entertainment media, where Christians are often depicted as one-dimensional, intolerant, and judgmental characters. Another reason for the media's misrepresentation of Christians is the desire to sell a narrative. The media thrives on controversy and sensationalism, and portraying Christians as extremist or bigoted provides a compelling story that catches the attention of viewers and readers. This narrative is often fueled by isolated incidents or quotes taken out of context, which are then used to represent the entire Christian community. For example, a single statement by a Christian leader can be blown out of proportion and used to represent the views of all Christians, regardless of whether it is accurate or not. The media's treatment of Christians is also influenced by a lack of understanding and familiarity with Christian culture and theology. Many journalists and media personalities have little to no experience with Christianity, and as a result, they often rely on stereotypes and misconceptions when reporting on Christian issues. This lack of understanding leads to inaccurate and misleading portrayals of Christians, which further perpetuate negative stereotypes. Furthermore, the media's lies about Christians are also driven by a larger cultural agenda. In recent years, there has been a growing trend of secularism and anti-Christian sentiment in Western societies. This has led to a culture of intolerance and hostility towards Christians, who are seen as being out of touch with modern values. The media reflects and amplifies this cultural sentiment, often portraying Christians as being opposed to progress in human rights. However, this portrayal is far from the truth, as many Christians are actively engaged in social justice and humanitarian work, seeking to make a positive impact on the world. In addition, the media's lies about Christians also have real-world consequences. Negative portrayals of Christians can lead to increased persecution and marginalization of believers, particularly in countries where Christians are already a minority. It can also lead to a breakdown in relationships between Christians and non-Christians, as negative stereotypes and misconceptions are perpetuated. Moreover, the media's misrepresentation of Christians can also have a profound impact on the self-identity and self-esteem of young Christians, who may feel ashamed or embarrassed to identify as Christian due to the negative portrayals in the media. In conclusion, the mainstream media's lies about Christians are a result of a complex interplay of factors, including liberal bias, a desire to sell a narrative, a lack of understanding and familiarity with Christian culture and theology, and the larger cultural agenda, secularism, and anti-Christian sentiment. These lies have real-world consequences, from increased persecution and marginalization of believers to a breakdown in relationships between Christians and non-Christians. It is essential for Christians to be aware of these biases and to actively engage in correcting the narrative, promoting a more accurate and nuanced understanding of Christianity and its values. By doing so, Christians can work to counter the media's lies and promote a more positive and inclusive representation of their faith. Ultimately, this requires a concerted effort from Christians to speak out against misrepresentation and to promote a more accurate understanding of their beliefs and values.